If you're retiring from the military in 3 years or less, this video could literally save you over $100,000 in retirement while giving your family better protection than the survivor benefit plan. So I'm going to show you how, and near the end, I'll reveal a strategy that the government will never tell you about. All right, so let's set the stage. So the Survivor Benefit Plan, or SBP, was created in 1972. Now, on paper, it sounds helpful. If you pass away first, your spouse gets 55% of your pension. But here are the catches. So it costs 6.5% of your gross pension every month. That's before taxes. And your spouse's benefit is also fully taxable. So unless you and your spouse actively opt out at retirement, DFAS will automatically enroll you and start deducting from your very first pension check. Now, there's a tiny opt-out window between years 2 and 3 in retirement, but if you miss it, you're locked in for life, unless your spouse passes away first. And if that happens, the money you paid in is gone forever. Now, SBP costs also rise with cost of living adjustments. So the more you make, the more you pay. Now, we've got more detail on SBP in our free Veterans Wealth Guide, and the link is below if you'd like to dive in deeper. But for now, let's run the numbers. So let's look at an E7 retiring at 20 years of service at age 42 with a high 3 pension of about $31.19 per month. Now, his wife is also 42 at the time of his retirement. So at 6.5%, that's roughly $200 per month every month for life. Now, assume a 2% COLA increase each year. And if that E7 lives to age 85, he will have paid in about $166,000. And at the end of the day, his wife may never see the benefit. If she passes before him, all that money disappears. And the kids, they don't get a dime. No inheritance, no flexibility, just a 1972 program that takes a bite out of your pension for life. So here's what we do with our RETIREMAX ELITE program. So same E7 scenario, but instead of paying $200 per month for life with annual increases, we set up a $500,000 indexed universal life policy. So while he's still in uniform, before VA disability ratings can affect pricing, he contributes $300 per month for 10 years. Then he lowers that amount to $250 a month for the next 5 years. And that's it. He's done. No more premiums. His total lifetime contribution is about $51,000. Now you compare that to the $166,000 under SBP, and that's $115,000 in savings. And instead of a taxable 55% pension, his family has $500,000 of tax-free protection from day one. Now here's why this is so much stronger than SBP. So the coverage stays with him for life. It's not tied to DFAS. And after 30 years, when he and his wife are in their early 70s, he can even lower the coverage from $500,000 to $400,000 if that fits their needs. It comes with living benefits, which means if he gets critically ill, injured, or terminally ill, he can access the full death benefit early. And unlike SBP, he can name anyone as his beneficiary, so a spouse, kids, multiple people, even charities, and he can change it at any time. And all of this is 100% tax-free. Now, even though this policy isn't optimized for maximum cash value growth, it still builds value over time. So think of it as your own private line of credit. It's flexible and with lower costs than a bank. So by his 50s, while he and his wife are still in their prime working years, he could be funding cars directly from his policy instead of paying thousands in interest to banks. And by his mid-70s, he'd have about $135,000 in cash value and still maintain a $400,000 death benefit. And at that point, he has options. He can keep the full death benefit, or he can start drawing income tax-free using policy loans that are protected by an overloan protection rider. So for example, he could take $15,000 per year for 5 years and then $12,000 a year every year until age 85. And if he passes during that time, his family still receives nearly $200,000. Now try getting that kind of flexibility out of SBP. And there's one more option, a life settlement. At age 75, if he no longer needs the coverage, he could sell the policy. And the payout is usually somewhere between the cash value and the death benefit. So in this case, probably around $160,000. SBP can't do that. So now, let's take it one step further. Using this strategy, our veteran couple has already saved $115,000 over their lifetime compared to SBP. Now, what if they reinvested that savings into a plan that's designed to double by age 66 and then generate even more tax-free income for life? So since we already have a policy on our veteran, let's set up a second policy for his wife. And in this case, we'll start with just $150,000 a death benefit, but we'll design it to maximize cash value growth over the next 24 years until they retire. So for simplicity, let's take that $115,000 in savings and just spread it evenly. So about $400 a month going in. Now they could always put in more later, but let's keep it simple for now. So by age 66, that $115,000 has grown to over $240,000 in cash value, and her death benefit has grown to over $390,000. Now, from that cash value, they can now start drawing about $22,000 per year tax-free for the rest of their lives. And by age 85, their $115,000 of savings has generated $424,000 of tax-free income, while their combined death benefits are worth over $574,000. Now, their total combined lifetime investment is now about $165,000, because remember, we had the $115 plus the $51 of his total lifetime contribution, and the resulting combined benefit is about $998,000, likely over $1 million with projected index growth. Please help me understand how SBP makes more sense than that. So hopefully you can see now why I say SBP is outdated, overpriced, and inflexible. The sooner you start your own plan, the less you'll pay in, and the more benefits you'll unlock for yourself and your family. So go ahead and like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and drop the word family in the comments, and I'll send you a free copy of our Veterans Wealth Guide. Or you can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, or just head over to victory-xfinancial.com to grab it. Now let's do a quick side-by-side review. So SBP cons, it costs 6.5% of your pension for life. The costs rise with cost of living adjustments. Payments to your spouse are taxable. If your spouse passes first, all your contributions are gone, and there's no inheritance for your kids or grandkids. But with RETIREMAX ELITE, only about $51,000 total premiums versus $166,000 under SBP. You have a $500,000 tax-free protection from day one. Living benefits if you get sick or injured. You build cash value that you can borrow from. You have flexible beneficiaries, family, kids, charities, your choice. You have the option to sell your policy later for a lump sum payout. And if you reinvest the savings, you could build over $1 million in total combined benefits for your family. So this is the old 1970s program versus a modern, flexible plan that is built for today's veterans. So I'm Dan with victory-x Financial. I've walked in your boots. I know the choices you're facing at retirement. Don't settle for outdated, overpriced options. Protect your family and build real wealth. Do it on your terms. Stay sharp, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next video.